Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ryan, I'm a CPA, and today I'm going to be telling you what's the deal with your refunds for the year 2021. Many of you probably have filed your taxes earlier in the year, have not received your refund yet. You probably used the Check My Refunds tool on the IRS's website and nothing shows up. So in this video, I'm going to explain maybe what's going on, maybe what you can do, and hopefully it's helpful to you, okay? So when I say the Check My Refund tool, I'll put a link in the description below on what I'm talking about. It's basically a tool that the IRS has for you to check the status of where your refund is. Basically what you need is your social security number, your filing status, and your refund amount, your expected refund amount. Now, if you're filing jointly, you want to use the primary taxpayer's social security number, okay? If you're filing married jointly. Now, what this tool does, it tells you, whether your returns have been processed, how far along the refunds process is, and when you should be expecting your refunds. If you use this tool correctly and you get a page that says that the IRS has no status on your refund or they can't find it, then a couple things could be happening here. A, make sure that your tax return was actually filed and accepted. Okay. Then next thing, another thing that could be happening is your refund amount could have changed. And that's, I'll go through that a little later in this video of why that would happen. And then third, the IRS might simply just have not processed your tax return yet because they are pretty behind. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, the not processed part. The IRS has been backed up or delayed since 2020 due to the pandemic. The offices had to shut down for, it seemed like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And then slowly start working back in their operations from remote operations. And remote operations are sometimes not as efficient as being in the office. And other times they are, but that's another subject for another day. But either way, the IRS was behind and they still are. I believe they're still actually processing refunds from the 2020 tax year, which is really unfortunate. But due to COVID, that has set the IRS back quite a bit. And so they are still working on that, as well as trying to process the 2021 tax refunds. And by 2021, I just mean, the refunds that you filed this year in 2021. Yeah, well, given that there's the delays from last year going through and carrying on to this year, and that has been leading to many more delays for this year, for the 2020 tax year. And that could be one reason why your return is not processed yet. Other reasons could be like, some tax returns are just easier to process. Some of them could be processed by computers, machines, and whatnot. And there are some returns that might need some human processing and human calculations just to verify. And in some returns, they might just choose humans to process, just spot check and spot choosing them to make sure that they're accurate. Okay, so those are some reasons why they're delayed. Now, what are some reasons that your tax return or your tax refunds amounts could have changed? Well, to get into that, let's talk about the new tax law changes that happened in 2021 for the 2020 tax year. So first you have the unemployment insurance being non-taxable, part of it being non-taxable. And then you have the stimulus payments that you received last year and this year that are affecting your refund amounts and the tax return process, okay? So if you did not receive a stimulus payment last year or the second stimulus payment early this year, then you should be claiming that on your tax return because they are advanced tax credits. They were advanced to you. And if you didn't receive them in advance, then you should be able to get them on this tax return. So that's one thing that's causing some delays here, is because the IRS has to reconcile what was sent out versus what was reported on the tax return. And there's little nuances, like what if the stimulus payments were sent out to you, but you never cashed the check? Or what if the debit card was sent out to you, but you never received it? So in their system, they see that they sent it out to you, but maybe you claimed it on your tax return as if you did not receive it. So now they have to figure out what's going on there. So that kind of thing is causing delays in that sense. And now the unemployment insurance change, that changed in the middle of tax season. That means some people already filed their tax returns before the change happens. So the IRS said that they're going to take care of those people on their own. You don't have to file an amended return, okay? But these this also causes the IRS to have to reconcile, what was reported in unemployment versus what's non-taxable. There's also income limitations there. So if you made over $150,000 as a married couple, you don't qualify for the unemployment income exclusion. So these are like middle of tax season changes that happens that could cause further delays in processing in your tax return. So yeah, to me that makes sense why for some people it's taking much longer for their tax returns to be processed. All right, so now that leads me to why your refund amount could have changed. So let's say you didn't receive a stimulus payment in 2020 or early 2021, and let's say you didn't report it on your tax return. So maybe you were due a bigger refunds than you were expecting. That's when your refund amount could have changed. Or if you received a partial stimulus payments in 2020, but then when you file your 2020 tax return, you are due a greater refund or whatnot, then that would cause your refund amount to change as well. If you owed taxes in prior years, that would cause your refund amount to change because those taxes are still due. So if you receive a tax refund in the 2020 year, then they're going to apply that to your prior year's tax liability to satisfy that, okay? Now, another layer on top of that is that the IRS said they don't want to apply your stimulus payments to prior year taxes. So that means they have to break out your stimulus payment amounts versus your tax refund amount. And if you owe taxes in prior years, they're just going to apply your tax refund amount to those prior years, and then they're going to send your stimulus payment to you as a tax credit. So that's how the IRS is splitting that up as well, which, all these moving parts put together, you can really see why it might be taking longer for the IRS to get you your refund or to process your tax return fully. Now, if your tax refund amount has changed, that would cause the IRS check your refund status tool to actually not pull up your refund. Because let's say you're expecting a $3,000 refund, so you put that into the tool, it shows up as status not found. Well, if your refund actually changed to $2,000, then using $3,000 as the amount for the check the status is actually incorrect now. So, if your refund amount changed, you won't really know that. The IRS might send you a letter or a notice to tell you that. But in this day and age, with the pandemic, it seems like actions are taking place much quicker than notices are going out of the IRS system. So basically, yeah, if your refund amount changed, that would throw off your check my refund status tool, and you won't be able to see your actual refund status unless somehow you knew your exact refund amount. So with the pandemic delays in the 2020 year, plus the stimulus payments that have to be reconciled, plus the changes mid-tax season in 2021, the unemployment insurance mainly, plus, if you owed prior year taxes that the IRS has to apply some of your refund to, but not all of it, it's really easy to see why your tax refund and your tax return could be delayed in processing. Now, what can you do about this? Obviously, the first thing you can do is try calling the IRS. I'll leave their phone number for individual taxpayers in the description. I would definitely hold off until after June 15th to call them because, although tax season is over, there are still actually some states that are still in tax season. States that have gone through like winter storm delays, Texas, a bunch of other states. Their IRS deadline is now June 14th. So hold off on calling the IRS until after June 14th because, I bet their phone lines are still very busy. You might have to wait several hours at this point. Even if you call after the 15th, you might still have to wait several hours, but you'll have a better chance of getting through. The best thing you can do is call them to find out what's going on. If you checked your where's my refund tool and nothing comes up, then give them a call, okay? The other thing you can do is hire a professional like us or like your local CPA firm, whoever you are using to help you with your taxes. give them a call to call the IRS for you, because they can usually get through much quicker than you can through their special practitioner line. So in order to do that, it might not be worth your money if your refund's only a few $100. But if you're expecting like several thousands of dollars, maybe tens of thousands of dollars of a refund, then definitely call, hire a professional to help you figure that out. At least get a game plan on what's going on. All right, so that's all I got for today. Thanks for joining me. And if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and smashing that like button. Share this video with your friends who might have the same issue or who you might think also would find it helpful. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so take care for now, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up.